First talk of the day. Up first, we're going to have Mariatta, and she's going to be speaking about don't be a robot, build the bot. Please welcome Mariatta.
Thank you. Hi. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, my name is Mariatta. I'm from Canada, and I work as back-end engineer at Zapier. And at Zapier, we have this motto, like, don't be a robot, build the robot. So this is kind of to talk about that. I also help organize the PyCascades conference. And in my free time, I contribute to open source, and most of the time to Python. I'm one of the Python core developer. And as a core developer, there is this one same question we all receive again and again and again. We got it in person from various people. We received numerous emails about this. In fact, early this morning, the same question at 4 a.m. I saw an email asking this very question. Is this, please, can you merge my pull requests already? I'm sorry. It's a huge problem. Right now, we have more than 1,000 open pull requests, and some of us have been working hard to try to keep it down. But the reality is we're outnumbered. The core developer team don't scale as well. Right now, we have about 50, 60 active core developers who can merge your pull request. Meanwhile, there are like hundreds, thousands of you. I'm just so sorry. We received too many, we can't do it in time. I'm sorry. And another problem is that our workflow is just overly complicated. And for every pull request that comes, we have to do all these checks, all these questions. Bug or feature, it makes a huge difference on how we treat your pull request. Did you sign the CLA? Is there an issue? Did anybody even ask for this PR? You write a news entry? Do we need to backport? Are you a first-time contributor? And did you write the good commit message that we can understand? And these are just routine checks. It's not even the actual discussion. They're asking, where do I post? Which mailing list do I use? We're not even talking about reviewing the pull request. It's too complicated. And I'm just going to focus on one complicated issue, that is the problem with backporting. What exactly is a backport, and why is this important to Python? Backporting is the act of applying changes from the newer version of software to the older version of the same software. In case you don't realize, Python currently, we maintain these 3 versions still. The master branch will become 3.8. There's another release coming in May. 3.7 is still accepting bug fixes. And 2.7, let's not talk about it. We're not even taking bug fixes through 3.6 anymore. Backporting is how you will receive 3.7 in June and 2.7, the final one. It's really important. So consider this scenario. You're using Python, you love f strings just like me, and then you discover a bug. So you come to the bug tracker and tells me, hey, there's a bug with f strings, and that's fine. And because it's f strings, maybe you think, well, this affects Python 3.6 when it was introduced. So I'm going to label it as fix this in 3.6. And then you're going to help me, because you're so nice. You made a pull request and fix it, and targeting to the 3.6 branch, right? That's just not how it works with Python. And a lot of people made this mistake, so I thought I'll explain it. This is the right workflow. If you found a bug in 3.6, that's fine. Tell us about it right up to the bug tracker. But we will tag it as it needs to be fixed in 3.8 and 3.7 in the newer versions. And what happens is that you will make the pull request against the latest branch, first the master one, and it will come in 3.8. And then we'll review it. We'll do all the checks that I have in the beginning, making sure you write all the tests, you sign the CLA and all that. Only after we merge your pull requests, we will do the backport. We'll cherry pick it to the 3.7. This is just high level. It seems complicated, but this is just a high level. Now let me tell you about how exactly this backport to 3.7 happens. This is how it used to work. We need to write so many things just to backport one commit to 3.7. It's a lot of things to type. It's tedious. Do the git fetch, check out the branch, do the cherry pick, push it, and then you want to delete the branch, create a pull request. And this is how it used to work back when we were still in Mercurial. So this is how we know it needs to happen. We didn't know any better way. But it is tedious, repetitive, boring, lots of things to type. Luckily, we figured out how to make it a little bit better. So I wrote this utility script, cherrypicker.py. What we have to do now is just pip install cherrypicker, and it becomes a one-liner. Just give it the commit hash you want to backport and the branch, the target branch. Now this is easier. It will even open the GitHub pull request page, so you just click a button, so you don't even need to open your own browser. And you think, we'll be happy with this? I was not, because it's still troublesome, because I have to be on a computer, and it's a trouble for me. Like, I have to be on the right computer that has CPython clone, that has Git, that has my SSH key. I'm not on my computer as much as you think. I'm on my phone more. If I can review pull requests while I'm on the beach or while I'm getting pedicure on my phone, why do I have to wait to go until I'm back on my computer to complete the backport? It feels wrong to me. And because we have to wait until we're back at the computer, we sometimes forget to do that part. Another problem is I start receiving bug reports, and some of the bug reports is related to people using cherry picker on Windows. And Python on Windows is really great, and you should go to Steve Tower talk and hear more about it. The problem's me. I don't have, as you can see, I use Mac. I don't have Windows. I don't know how to test. I don't know how to help you if you use Windows. I'm so sorry. So this is a problem. And it's just really boring. Like, yeah, I do it once, do it twice, it's okay. Do it 300 times for all your PRs. It's a waste of time. And we keep, since the beginning, the core devs have started talking, like, we know this can be automated. We know we can have a bot to do this for us. Problem is, I don't know how to build the bot, and I was kind of waiting for other core devs to just build a bot for us, please. But time passes. Few months, and then we've all started to feel frustrated, so I thought, maybe it's a good learning opportunity for me. I want to learn how to build a GitHub bot. So I started learning and started reading GitHub developer guide. And I started figuring out that there is this GitHub webhooks that you can install in your repository. Basically, GitHub can notify you of events happening inside your repo. So it can tell you that there is pull request that's being opened, closed, or labeled, or all many events. And it's really interesting. And the thing is, you need to build a web service to receive those webhook events. So since we're Python code developers, of course, we will build it using Python. And things under the PSF, whenever possible, we will host it on Heroku. So that's the choices we made. We will write a web service. with Python hosted on Heroku. So this is how GitHub webhooks generally works. But what about the other direction? Like, what if our web service wants to talk to GitHub? We want to make actions, like we want to create pull requests, merge pull requests, or something like that. We will need to do all this. There are also APIs for all of this. I didn't know about any of this before, but after I read the developer guide, I started realizing, well, there's a lot of things you can do using APIs. Things you can do on GitHub website UI, you can do as a code. That means you can write bots. So now that I've learned more about webhooks and GitHub APIs, I started thinking, well, let's build a bot. How do I build the bot that does backports? And I guess I will utilize the webhook. I want to wait for the PR merge event, run cherrypicker.py, and then open the pull request. It seems simple. Now, if you remember from the previous slides, cherrypicker really runs Git commands. It means somehow the web service needs to have a clone of CPython repo. Here comes trouble, right? This is how it should be. CPython is 28 years old, is big. Cloning CPython takes at least 2 minutes. And while working on this, I realized that requests in Heroku times out after 30 seconds. So what do I do here? I cannot clone CPython repo. I don't know how to make cloning CPython be faster. Like we have to delete things from CPython. That will never happen. So I didn't know what to do here. I asked Ernest, the PSF Director of Infrastructure, for advice. I thought maybe I cannot use Heroku. Maybe he needs to spin up a server for me, I don't know. But he said, we can totally use it. Heroku, you can run, there is a background worker task that you can use. So I can delegate the long-running task in the background with Celery, and that's where I do the cloning in the background, and the web service is just to receive the webhook and then just kick off the task. So that was really cool. So this is how Miss Islington works. Miss Islington is open source, and if you're curious about building GitHub bots and you want to see code examples, you can check it out. It's written in Python 3.6 because I really love f-strings, using AIO HTTP. But the real magic is, I would say, it's the GitHub library that makes writing GitHub bots really easy, and it's written by Brad Cannon here, right in front. Just to show like how easy it is to write the bot, to write the webhook even. This is the code, the actual code from Miss Islington. If you can see, I'm waiting for the pull request closed event. And I know that the PR is being merged. I will figure out where is the commit hash. Everything's given by GitHub to me. So with those information, I was able to kick off the cherry pick task. So the code's open Apache license. And we built the bot, we deployed it, and this is Miss Islington's first PR. This happens during Python Core Sprint 2017 in a small room of 20 people in Facebook, and there was a huge cheer in one corner as we see this. It was magical. We have, for the first time in CPython, we have actually 3 bots talking to each other. Like, it was amazing. It was fun. It's great. And all the problems I used to have with cherry pickle is now gone. And I feel like this is great. Like, I feel like I've accomplished something. But there is still one problem. Even though things are somewhat automatic, it takes time. And the problem is related to the other part of our workflow. waiting for tests to pass. We have so many tests and checks. We run it on Azure. We run it on Travis. All of these can take 30 minutes, sometimes more, sometimes forever, and we have to restart it. Waiting for all this is boring. Of course, I'm not going to wait for it. So wouldn't it be nice if I can have a bot that does the waiting for me, like this? So now the bot waits for all these checks to pass. So I don't have to, and it just tells me, hey, it's done, come back and merge this, right? And the workflow looks like this. This is the bot that implements that, that notification. It checks for all the status to finish, figure out the PR, and then make a comment. So again, code's online. So we've accomplished this, and now all my problems are solved. And I thought when I did that, I thought my life is complete. This is the biggest life achievement I ever made. And so maybe it's time to start looking into some other problems here. And then one day comes this email to Python committers. Would it be nice if let the bot merge it for me, not having to wait anymore? And I thought, sure. I mean, this is CPython. Having a bot merging code to CPython, it means you're wanting to give commit right to a bot. And it's not even an easy thing to do to people. Are we sure we want to give commit right to a bot, making a bot a core developer, basically? I wasn't sure, but Victor wants it. So we made it. This is the code. It's really straightforward. It's basically one line. Just make a put request to GitHub. That's how it works. So we have that. And now our workflow looks so much simpler. As you can see, there's very little things a core developer is doing, and the bot does most of it. And it's really interesting for me to realize that we thought this is what we want. We thought we'll be happy with this. But now that we have this kind of workflow, we can't go back. We're spoiled. And now we've at least I started thinking, like, what other things can be automated? Like, now that I know how to build GitHub bots, can I build even more? What are the things that I can do with it? So, and I also realized that now that I know so many things that can be automated with bots, I got really grumpy whenever I have to do things manually, whenever people don't have bots in their GitHub. One of the bots I'm working right now, the blackout bot, basically it is a bot that runs black formatter. It's awesome. Go see Luka's talk sometime. I'm still working on this. It is still closed source, but the reason I want this bot is that I don't know, I just can't be bothered with installing plugins, setting up pre-commit, edit config or whatever, or talking about it. I know the Django team is thinking about using Black, and they have a whole process. There's a depth. I think it's been discussed for some time, and when we were wanting to use Black at Zapier, it took a few weeks of discussion. I'm sorry, I can't do that. So I wrote a bot just to make it simple for myself. Dave Bisley needs a bot, and he didn't realize it. Last time he asked, is there an easy way to allow issues but not pull requests? And the responses to this was, well, move to GitLab. That's not as simple as you think. Writing a bot is really easy. Like you just, whenever somebody opens a PR, you close it automatically. You can do that. And really, really easy. This is the code that does that, 4 lines of code. Easier than moving to GitLab. Can't believe I failed at emoji. I have an out of open source bot that reminds people of the period of time that I'm not doing any volunteer work. So if you expect, just so people know, don't expect any answers from me during this time. A few people have been asking me, how do you make this bot? This is actually Zapier. You can try it out, but these are my Zapier steps. Whenever somebody mentions me on open source, not inside Zapier, it will leave comment. I even wrote Python with F strings there. I'm working with Raphael on a PyLabels GitHub bots. If you're familiar, maybe or not, Raphael has this package, the labels package, to help manage your GitHub labels. If you manage multiple repos and you want to have consistent labels across them, you don't need to recreate them one by one manually. He has this package that you can configure all the repos with a YAML file. It's really useful. It's just a command line. And I told him, love your package, but I'm really lazy person. I don't want to deal things in the command line. I think we can build a bot. So we've been working on it. It's kind of stalled because I was out of open source, but I plan to work on the bot with him. So be on the lookout. So I hope I've given you ideas for automating your life, for writing GitHub bots. If you're interested to build your own, I gave a tutorial last year, and the material for how to build GitHub bots is online. And there is a new framework, the Octo Machinery. I think it is pretty useful. I think it can be useful to build GitHub bots as well. I would like for you to check it out. And if you're concerned about the cost of hosting GitHub bots on the cloud, you don't want to pay for it. If it's something that can benefit Python open source community, check with the PSF if they will help fund the hosting for you, so you can focus on building the bot. Just talk to them. They said, Ernest told me that, there is no issues. Like if the community will benefit from it, if you make it open source, I think they can make it happen. So thank you so much, the PSF, and thank you so much for all your donations and sponsorship. And if you really want to talk more about GitHub bots, I love it. We are doing an open space on Sunday because GitHub bots are one honking great idea. I want you to do more of those. If you have ideas, let's come chat with me on Sunday, May the 5th, 11 a.m. in room 20. So, thank you so much.